It's Miss Reynolds with B.O.R.E.D. Better Off Reading Every Day. And today is The Big Sleepover. The Barber Twins. Written by Gail Herman, illustrated by Emily Kong. And our second one is Fancy Nancy Pajama Party by Jane O'Connor. Pictures based on the art by Robin Press Glasser. So we have two books about sleepovers and pajama parties. That's why we're wearing our pajamas. And that's why little boy Debbie is joining me today. The Big Sleepover. Muffy and Margie were twins. They were born on the same day of the same afternoon at almost the same time, but Muffy was born first. Muffy was the first to walk and the first to bark. Margie didn't mind. "I do everything first," Muffy thought. "That's just the way it is." One day, Margie and Muffy were playing school with Marcos. He was their new adopted little brother. Muffy was the teacher. The phone rang, and Mama called to Margie. "It's Billy." When Margie came back, he was very excited. "Guess what?" he said. "Billy invited me to his house later." Muffy said, "So what? What's so exciting about that?" Margie went to Billy's house lots of times. "It's for a sleepover," Margie said, as they all went downstairs for a snack. "A sleepover?" Morphy tried to smile. "So what?" she said again. "I've been on a sleepover, remember? Marcos and I slept in your room. We made a tent, but Muffy knew that didn't really count." "You come back soon?" Marcos asked. "See, Marcos, yes, I will be back tomorrow morning." Muffy wanted to forget about Margie's sleepover. His room was next to hers. Every night, just before they went to sleep, they knocked on the wall to each other 2 times. It meant sweet dreams. "Come on," Muffy said. "Let's go back and play school some more." "I can't," Margie said. "I have to go pack." "Fine," said Muffy angrily as she followed Margie into his room. "We'll just play without you." Margie got out 4 books, some Mighty Muff action figures, his bat, a baseball glove, all his favorite t-shirts, his dinosaur pajamas, and of course, he also packed T-Rex and Steegie so he and Billy could play dinosaur attack. "It's going to be fun," Margie said. "Billy has a bunk bed. I get to sleep on top, and his mom says she'll let us watch a movie after dinner." "Are you sure you want to go?" Muffy asked. "What if you fall off the bed?" Muffy went on. "And Mama's making macaroni and cheese tonight, our favorite." Margie frowned. "Oh, sure. I'm sure I want to go," but he didn't sound so sure. But he stuffed his old blanket in his bag just in case he got homesick. Then he reached for the checkers game. He and Muffy loved checkers. They played almost every night. "You can't take that," Muffy said. "Can too," Cannot. Can too. I want to teach Billy to play. I'll bring it back. Here, just take it, Muffy cried. I can't wait for you to leave. She let go of the box and the checkers went flying. Come over, Morgie said. Help me pick them up. No, Muffy marched out of Morgie's room. If Morgie was going to Billy's, Muffy wanted a friend to sleep over. Mommy said that was fine. Now Muffy would be the first one to have a friend sleep over at their house. So there, Morgie, she thought. When Sally said yes, Muffy jumped up and down. She ran to tell Marcos. Guess what? Sally's coming over to stay over, Muffy told Marcos. We'll play with you tonight. You won't miss Morgie at all. Marcos had heard Marcos tried. All afternoon, Muffy played in her room. Morgie stayed in his room. Marcos stayed in his room. He didn't feel well. Muffy did not even say goodbye when Morgie left with Papa. Later the telephone rang. It was Sally. Sally can't come, Muffy told Mama. Well, we'll invite her another time. Hey, said Muffy, I can read to Marcos. I'm sorry, Mama said to Muffy. Marcos has a cold. I don't want you to catch it, and he needs some sleep. The house was so quiet. No Marcos, no Morgie. But Mama and Papa were home, and Muffy had them all to herself. After dinner, they played Old Maid. Then they baked cookies. Muffy served and mixed. But Morgie wasn't there to take turns. It was fun. It wasn't as much fun. Then they baked cookies. Muffy served and mixed. But Morgie wasn't there to take turns. It was fun, but it wasn't as much fun. When she was brushing her teeth, Muffy thought about how Morgie liked to gargle really loud, just to make her laugh. You know what? I miss Morgie, Muffy sighed. Can I call him? Hello, Morgie, Muffy said. I'm sorry we had a fight and that I was mean. I miss you. Muffy, Morgie said. I was just going to call you. I miss you too. And do you know what? Morgie went on. Billy wants you to come for breakfast tomorrow. His mom is making chocolate chip pancakes. I'll be there, Muffy said. And don't forget to knock good night. Muffy didn't forget, and neither did Morgie. The end of The Big Sleepover, The Barker Twins, by Gail Herman and Emily Kong. Oh, it happens, boys and girls. Our second book is Fancy Nancy Pajama Party. Class, don't forget, Miss Glass says, tomorrow is pajama party. We we shout in unison. That's a fancy word for together. I plan to wear my new nightgown. I must say, it is very elegant. Elegant is a fancy word for fancy. Then the phone rings. It is Bree. She says, I'm going to wear my pajamas with pink hearts and polka dots. Do you want to wear yours? We can be twins. Oh, I say, being twins would be fun. Then I look at my elegant nightgown. What a dilemma. That's a fancy word for problem. Finally, I make up my mind. I tell Bree I'm going to wear my brand new nightgown. Bree understands. She's my best friend. She knows how much I love being fancy. The next morning at school, we can't stop laughing. Everyone's in pajamas, even the principal. He is carrying a teddy bear. Miss Glass has a long nightshirt and fuzzy slippers. I am the only one in fancy nightgown. It makes me unique. You say it like this, unique. Nancy, look, says Bree. Clara has on the same pajamas as me. Bree and Clara giggle. We're twins, says Clara, and we didn't even plan it. At story hour, Miss Glass has us spread out our blankets. She reads a bedtime story. Clara and Bree lie next to each other. We're twins, Clara keeps saying. At recess, Clara takes Bree's hand. They run to the monkey bars. Come on, Nancy, Bree calls. But it's hard to climb in a long nightgown, and I can't hang upside down. Everyone would see my underpants. At lunch, I sit with Bree and Clara. They both have grape rolls in their lunch boxes. Isn't that funny, Nancy, says Clara. We even have the same dessert. The afternoon is no longer Clara and Bree's. The afternoon is no better. Clara and Bree are partners in folk dancing. Robert steps on my hem. Some of the lace trim on my nightgown rips. At last the bell rings. I am glad Pajama Day is over. Do you want to come play at my house? I asked Bree. But Bree can't come. She's going to Clara's house. I know it's immature. That's a fancy for babyish, but I almost start to cry. Then, as we're leaving, Bree and Clara rush over. Nancy, can you come play too? Clara asks. Yes, I say. I just have to go home first to change. Now we are triplets. Fancy Nancy words. These are the fancy words in this book. Dilemma, a problem. Elegant, fancy. Excluded, left out. Immature, babyish. Reply, answer. Unique, one of a kind. You say it like this, unique. Unison, all together. The end of Fancy Nancy Pajama Party. Now, boys and girls, I chose these two books, of course, because it is almost New Year's. Tomorrow night is New Year's Eve. And I wanted to get something and read something to you that I wanted to say to you. We do not own the rights to these books. I do not own the rights to any of these books that I read to you. But I do love storytelling magic. And I know that a lot of kids are having sleepovers because their parents are going out, or they're going to their grandparents, or they're going to sleep in their brother or sister's room. That's a sleepover too. Or you're doing something fun where you're pretending to sleep out or sleep over. You're not really going to sleep. You're going to be playing for most of the time. And then when you get really tired and you rub your eyes, then you're going to sleep over. So that's why I chose these two sleepover books and Pajama Party, because a lot of kids are going to be in their pajamas tonight and tomorrow night, rolling into New Year's. And all the people that usually go out for New Year's are going to be staying in based on what's going on in our lives. I know. But you can make fun of it. You can get out your sleeping bag, like I did. Little boy Debbie has her sleeping bag, and you can make fun out of it. There is never a reason to be sad when you can make fun out of anything that you're doing. Just give it a try. Make fun out of whatever you're doing. So I have my sleeping bag here. I'll pull it up so you can see it. Here's my sleeping bag. I got my books, and little boy Debbie has her sleeping bags here. She has her pillow. Can you see it? Let's show you what we got. We got Fancy Nancy, Pajama Party, and we have the big sleepover right here, the two of us. This is what we're doing. And she has her sleeping bag here. This is a spare one. But if she wanted to, she could put her legs down and she could get in her sleeping bag. I'm in my sleeping bag. She's in her sleeping bag. She's got her pillow here. And now we are both in our sleeping bag. Can you see us? You see that? Do you want us to get a little closer? Let's try a little closer. Here we are in our sleeping bags. And we have our books. We'll put them right here. There we are. So we are both tucked up in our sleeping bags, nice and cozy. Boys and girls, I want to say to you, sometimes we don't always get to do the things that we really, really want to do. But there are times when we have things that we could be doing that can also be fun. You get out your sleeping bag, you get on your pajamas, you get some hot chocolate, you get some cookies, you get some fun games to play, kind of like in the books, and you just cozy up and you make the best of whatever it is that you've got. So you get what you get and you make it the best. And that's what we're doing here right now in our pajamas and our sleeping bags at our sleepover and our pajama party. See? Two names, pajama party and sleepover. So tell me all about what you end up doing on New Year's Eve, and then I'll tell you what we ended up doing on New Year's Eve. We'll compare notes, and I bet what we'll come up with at the end is that we both had a lot of fun. I'll see you soon, boys and girls. Miss Reynolds with B.O.R.E.D and little boy Debbie. Better off reading every day. Bye.